Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Marshfoot Outdoors. My name is Mac and I am really excited about today's knife review for you guys. We're going to be looking at the Vosteed Nightshade. This is basically a kukri in your pocket, and as you can see, it is quite a different design for a pocket carry knife. So we are most certainly going to break this puppy down, everything about it, and get into all the great fine details about this knife. Thank you for being here. Thank you for subscribing if you're a returning subscriber, and hopefully if you're someone new to the channel, you will decide to subscribe by the time you're done watching the video. So, as I like to always do, I like to break down these knives, these initial knife reviews from right when I open the box, right on through to the knife and what I think about it so far. Disclaimer, I paid for this knife with my own money. And I am trying to get an affiliate program with Vosteed so that I can try to maybe bring some savings your guys' way. We'll see if that happens. And also, I don't do anything to these knives for these initial reviews. I don't sharpen them. I take them right the way they are out of the box, and I do my cut test. I do my ferro rod test. Somebody made a comment on a previous video that they said, man, you had to have touched up the, I don't remember which one it was now. It was one of the Chinese fixed blades, the Black Rhino, the M-Tech Black Rhino. Somebody said, you know, you had to have sharpened that before the video with how well it cut. I did not, and I didn't sharpen this one either. It's just the way it is out of the box. So you see here, you get yourself this kind of nice, kind of velour, flat black box. Vosteed on the sides, got Vosteed on the top with their logo, whatever that little horse chest piece looking guy is. And then, of course, it shows you here, I don't know why I said of course, not everybody does this, but it shows you what knife is on the inside and what knife you can expect when you open this up. Now, when I opened this box, I was super excited. I was super impressed, and I wish that more knife companies would do this, because this was right up my alley. Because as soon as you open this box, well, of course, you've got the literature, you know, it tells you about your full 30-day money-back guarantee, blah, blah, blah. However, what I was not expecting was this cool morale patch that you get. I think that's pretty neat. That's a really sweet touch. And you get a sticker. Nightshade sticker, and you can see at the bottom there where it says Nightshade. It's kind of in the shape of the knife with some city skyline, and looks Japanese to me, but with the buildings there. But anyway, love that. I love stickers. I love morale patches, and it just makes you feel like you're getting so much for $70. They really make you feel like you're getting such a quality premium product here with little touches like that. So that's awesome. Other companies, take note. You should be doing that as well if you're not. Send stickers. All right, so let's get into the knife. First of all, I love this knife so far. I have not used it. I have carried it in my pocket for the last couple days, but I have not used it because I didn't want to do anything to the blade. I didn't want to dull out the blade at all before I did my cut test for this video, but I've just not been able to resist carrying it around because I've been really excited waiting for this knife. So, as I said, Nitro V Steel. It is from a company in New Jersey, and it is a stainless steel, and it is a really, really good steel. Great corrosion resistance, good edge retention, supposedly pretty easy to sharpen overall as far as stainless steel goes. So, you know, $70, guys, you know, you're not getting you know, typical $440 or something like that, or $10.95. You're getting, you know, a step up in a more, you know, premium steel here with Nitro V, and I think that's really pretty awesome in my opinion. Okay, so as you can see, the lines of this knife are just really neat, right? I mean, the way it flows from the grip, the scales, through the spine of the blade down to the tip of the knife. They call this a negative tip point because of that design. Now, this knife according to Vosteed, is inspired by a Chinese Shilin knife or Shilin cutter, which is like a traditional knife in this style, or they call it a fusion. They called it a fusion bolo or something along those lines here. Let's see. Fusion Kukri. Fusion Kukri is what they're calling it. And it's like that kind of leaf pattern to the blade. You can see here where we've got Vosteed kind of laser etched into one side of the blade, and then you've got the name of the knife, the Nightshade and Nitro V on the other side of the blade. I like that. They're subtle. It gives us the information that we need without overdoing it, without just jumping out at us like really crazy. Let's talk about the action on this knife. Okay, they say they claim that this thing is like, you know, drop close, fine tuned, and it is. I mean, it's hard to do because the finger flick gets in the way a little bit. It's not really easy to do a drop close with this, but I mean, it just drops closed, no problem. Even though this is not a spring assisted knife or anything like that, it's got caged ceramic bearing that the knife pivots on, that the knife blade pivots on with the finger flick, and even straight up, okay, that thing just, I mean, it just shoots right out of there. It just shoots right out of there. But when you carry it in your pocket with the pocket clip, as you can see, it's tip up. So when you take, when you take it out of your pocket, it's already in that down, it's in that position of where you're going to flick that thing out. And I mean, it just shoots right out of there. So smooth. Lockup is perfect. There is zero, and I mean absolutely zero wiggle, left to right wiggle. I mean, it feels like a fixed blade. That lockup is so solid. So the action on this knife is excellent. The detent is excellent. Okay, it's nice. It's light, but you feel like you've got something in your hand when you actually hold it. I got this knife because of that, what they call that negative drop to the point. This thing is slicey. I can just imagine using this at camp for all kinds of slicing chores around camp. And that's what I end up using my pocket knife for so much. As I reach into my pocket, I'm making sandwiches. This would be great for spreading condiments, cutting your sandwiches, slicing charcuterie. I mean, you name it. I mean, this thing it's just with that tip down like that really aggressive drop point there. I mean, you're just going to be able to cut and slice with this thing like no one's business. If you wanted to do the pinch hold, you could get up into like game with this and really skin out a hide. You can pinch grip really well with that broad leaf shaped blade. Just to me, this seems like it's going to be a very, very versatile knife and knife blade design. I'm really excited about using this. I mean, look, in a world of clip points, drop points, tantos, modified tantos, to me, it is really cool to see a company kind of step out of the box with their blade design, but not something that's so ridiculous and so over the top of a blade design that you're just like, you're trying to be so different. Like, what the hell am I going to do with that knife design? You see that sometimes. I see some knife blade designs, and I'm just like, what would you even use that for? This, I can think of all kinds of uses for this, for an all-around, just good EDC pocket knife. Slicing. Obviously it's not super conducive to kind of holding, turning up like this to cut. I mean, you can do it, but that's not really what it's meant for. But if you turn your hand this way, it's a lot better. And, slicing rope, I like that the sharpening choil is not just crazy ridiculous there. That's not going to get bound up in my cordage too bad. The finger flick has a nice added jimping to it that you can see there, but it's not overdone. A little bit of mild jimping on the liner lock. This is stainless steel liner locks. I don't know if you'll be able to pick it up in there, but there you go. You can see that they're skeletonized for weight saving. So just really a lot of thought into this knife. Jimping on the spine there. Now, I love that jimping, okay? Jimping done right, I love it. That's perfect. That is, to me, that's perfect jimping. It's not so aggressive that it's going to cut into your finger or cause some kind of crazy hot spot, but it's there when you need it. It's done right. Good job, Vosteed, on the jimping on this knife. I really like that. I love the black micarta handles. You can see you've got some relief cuts in there for your finger. You know, you just kind of where your finger is going to naturally rest. They've got some relief lines in there. I really like that. Nice, good, strong, robust pocket clip that you're not going to bend or break getting in and out of your vehicle if it gets hooked on your seatbelt or something like that. So I love that. And, you know, this ceramic bearing that it rides and pivots on is really, really nice. And that finger flick, it's great. I'm really, you know, it's hard for me to find anything on this knife to really pick on, just because it seems to be such a well-designed, purpose-driven knife, and I love that. And I love that it's so different. You know, when you first see it, it might be to some people kind of an ugly duckling, but I think it's a beautiful knife. I think it's well done. The Nitro V steel seems to be really nice quality. And something that I really like that's a nice touch, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but look at that kind of crowned, rolled spine. It's really hard to kind of pick it up here. But it gives it an elegance that you just don't get with some other knives when they've got that 90-degree spine. Now, of course, you're not going to be striking your ferro rod on that spine, but I'm sure you could spike it on the, or strike it on the cutting edge if you really had to. But I will not be doing that to this knife in this test. I will not be hitting the ferro rod on the edge of this knife. But that crowned kind of rolled spine is so comfortable on your finger. And I love how they just took it right out to the tip, how it progressively gets thinner right out to the tip. Full flat grind. Love that. Love the flat grind. Love the elegance of it that it gives to that Nitro V steel blade. So, specs on this knife coming straight from Vosteed. They call this the Nightshade. You can get this in multiple colors. This is the black micarta with the satin blade. Now, this was not my first choice. This was not the color combination that I really, really wanted. And that's okay, because it was the one that was available. There's about a 1 month to 2 month wait for the color that I wanted on Amazon, and I just didn't want to wait. I didn't want to wait that long. I really wanted this knife, and I like the black on the satin. Don't get me wrong, I like it, but they've got quite a number of different color combinations here. You can get the black on satin, which is what I have. They've got black PVD Stonewash, which is basically a black Stonewash blade with these grips. They've got OD green on black, which I really like. And you can get this with a thumb hole as well and not the finger flick. But I like the finger flick personally myself. Gray on Stonewash, white on Stonewash, orange G10 on satin, and then purple G10 on satin. So depending on the color that you're going to get will determine whether you get micarta or G10 scales on this knife. It does have a little lanyard hole there if you wanted to add a lanyard to this knife. So retails from Vosteed for $72, but you can get this on Amazon for $69. So the details from Vosteed. The blade. The Nightshade is inspired by the Shilin cutter, full flat ground leaf-shaped blade with a pointy negative angle tip. More than hundreds of knife lovers have proved it to be perfect for slicing, push, and draw cutting. The handle comes in a bunch of different colors. G10, you can get gray, white, purple, and orange. Micarta, black and green. We've tweaked the finger groove for comfort in the hand. Skeletonized steel liners are tucked inside to improve the strength of the handle without adding too much weight. Absolutely 100%. I agree with that. It definitely adds that rigidness to the micarta, but does not add any significant weight at all. So I do like that. Cage ceramic ball bearings for drop shut smoothness. And yeah, they're right. It is. You could just feel the smoothness on this knife the second that you open it the first time. Fine-tuned detent for snappy action. Absolutely. Non-slippery milling on the lock release bar. Extra room for the lock release area. Big love for big hands. And I will agree, because I do have big hands. I wear large size gloves, and this thing fits in my hand very, very nicely. This honestly is not a small. This is not a small pocket knife, really, by any stretch of the imagination. This thing's got to be pushing 8 inches, 7.5 inches all the way opened, and I think we've got about a 3 1/4 blade. Yeah, 3.5. So the blade's about 3.5 inches, and the handle is about 4 1/4. So this is a good size pocket knife, but it is so nice and lightweight. That's what I love about it. Is it's a good size pocket knife, but you don't feel it in your pockets. You don't even know that it's there. I love that. Crowned spine, easy, pleasing, classy design. Non-rotating pivot screw, maintenance made easy. Purposefully placed jimping on the flipper and the spine, all for confident and secured control over the knife. So, what can I say that didn't say, other than an HRC of 60 plus or minus 2. So good, strong, hard steel, so it's not going to be brittle. All right, you're not going to be worried about breaking this thing. There we go. There's a good look. Trying to get you a good look at the top of that spine. The camera is really not doing it any justice, not only because it's having trouble focusing on this thing, but just because it's one of those things you got to see in person. You got to just see it for yourself. So Vosteed, I've been watching some of the videos from Blade Show 2023. They seem like, they're really decent people. Chinese company, but they talk about, they're really focused on their employees. They're focused on family. And, the quality speaks for itself. For a sub $100 knife, and you can get this kind of quality, I love that. It makes it available to everyone, just about any budget. I know $70 can be a little bit pricey, and I do understand that. But what I can tell you is, with this Vosteed knife, and I'm sure this is the only one I have by them, I have no doubt in my mind that you're going to get this type of quality with all their knives. I know that they've got some titanium scaled knives in their lineup. So I saw that from Blade Show 2023 when people were at the Vosteed table. I had purchased this knife. I've been sitting on it for a little bit before I even had heard of Vosteed or saw any of their videos at Blade Show. It was kind of weird how that happened, actually. I had ordered the knife, and then like 2 days later, I saw a video. Oh, we're going to the Vosteed table at Blade Show 2023. I was like, oh man, that's cool. So, all right, guys. Well, look. Oh yeah, let's do our cut test. Oh yeah. Now that is right out of the box, my friends. Nope, got a little hung up there. That was my fault, not the knife. Look at that. Yeah, she's sharp. That is very sharp right out of the box. You do not need a thing to do a thing to this knife except put it in your pocket and carry it. And this is a user. This is a knife. This is an EDC knife. This is going to be my new everyday carry knife for the foreseeable future. I've got others that I plan to get to review for you guys, but I'm really excited about now finally getting to use this knife now that I've done my initial review. All right, Vosteed knives. Check them out. You can get it on Amazon, and I don't think that you will be disappointed. Also, when you close it, look at that. Perfectly centered. The tip is perfectly centered in the scales. $70. All right. Thank you guys very much for being here. I hope you do decide to subscribe if you haven't already. And hey, we're getting close to 400 subs. That is really awesome. You guys are making that happen. So until next time, I will see you on the happy hunting grounds.